Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStar League TV, part of my Road to Master series where I try to climb the online ranked Battle Stadium singles ladder. And today we have an update for my season team, whatever I want to call it, whatever you want to call it, the team that I've been kind of building and developing throughout this whole season. I have a couple changes here, which I will note. So of course, in the description, I will post a link to the previous video as well as the original team, so you can see kind of how things have changed over the course of the season. You know, you can kind of work your way backwards in the videos, because I always post links to the previous videos in the descriptions, so you can kind of see what I've been doing, how I've been developing the team. But we have a couple interesting changes here. The first one I want to talk about is down here, Ting-Lu. I swapped it for Garganacl, and honestly, I mean, I've always said this, but Ting-Lu is just such a great Pokemon. And, you know, this is the Ting-Lu set that I've been running, which is Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Ruination, and Whirlwind, and we have max HP and max defense, which means we are extremely tanky, and it's just a really good Pokemon in the meta right now, especially with Whirlwind just being able to kind of blow away any Pokemon that are trying to set up or something, and we can kind of take hits for days, which is good. You know, one conundrum that I've had when developing this team, I've probably mentioned this throughout the videos in the season. Basically, you know, I want to build the best possible team that I can and work on it throughout the season, which is what I've been doing. But I do have that natural tension where I don't want to just put the best Pokemon. Like, I don't want to just, I like using good Pokemon, but I also like trying new things and using things that are unique and interesting and very different. And so to that end, I'm trying not to just put the 6 best Pokemon on the team and call it a day, because that would be easy. I want to at least have a challenge, you know, challenge myself and use something that's fun and unique. And, you know, the Pokemon that I've talked a lot about that I'm most proud of is Skeledirge on this team, because that's a Pokemon you don't typically see anymore. So it's not as common, but it's been really good for me. So, you know, Ting-Lu's just one of those Pokemon that's just really good. And so in this last slot, I originally had Breloom. And the sad thing is Breloom was kind of on this team from the beginning, but I've decided to swap it out here in favor of Baxcalibur. In all honesty, Baxcalibur is a Pokemon that I'm just really completely trying out here. Ting-Lu is a Pokemon that, you know, it makes a lot of sense. It kind of fills a similar role that Garganacl had on the team, setting up Stealth Rock and just being a really good tank. But Baxcalibur is definitely not filling the role that Breloom was filling. Breloom's goal was to kind of be a good lead, maybe put something to sleep, have Focus Sash so it can survive a hit, stuff like that. But what I've gone ahead and done is swapped it for Baxcalibur, who, again, it plays very differently. And Baxcalibur is a Pokemon that was really good. It was one of the best Pokemon in the early meta for Scarlet and Violet. And since they've added a bunch of new Pokemon, it's gotten a little less good, or I think a little overshadowed. I still think it's in a good spot in the meta. And in all honesty, I was looking at this team and I was thinking, okay, I need a Pokemon that can take on opposing Iron Bundles, because Iron Bundle actually looks like a big threat to my team. And so I'm not sure Baxcalibur is the best Pokemon to do it, but you know, it at least gives me an edge against Iron Bundle, and I should be able to, I can definitely live any water moves, and I should be able to take a Freeze Dry decently well, because Baxcalibur is pretty bulky. And it's also really good against Dragonite, which is a Pokemon that also is decently common in the meta that my team kind of struggles with. I mean, I have Skeledirge as always, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. So that's the update for the team. Let's go ahead and get some games in. I don't have a team code today. I just want to see how it goes, because these two Pokemon might not fit in the team at all. And so, you know, if it works out, then maybe in the next video where I showcase this team, I will have a team code for you all. But I will also try to have a different team showcased in the next video, just so that, you know, just to mix things up. Anyways, let's get to some games. Cool, my opponent has a Baxcalibur as well. That's something you don't typically see anymore, and so the fact that I'm using it and so are they, pretty interesting stuff. Baxcalibur actually looks pretty solid here, although at the same time they have Corviknight, which is scary. They also have Urshifu, which is kind of scary against Baxcalibur. But Baxcalibur is decent against most everything else on their team. As far as leads, is Ting-Lu an obvious lead? And if it is, what would they lead with? I think if they led with Flutter Mane or Urshifu, Ting-Lu would not be a good lead for me, but just about everything else is decent. Really, that Corviknight's the Pokemon that I don't like seeing. So for Corviknight, and I think Corviknight is, I actually don't know if they would bring Corviknight, because Corviknight's good against Chien-Pao and Honestly, their Corviknight's not that great, but I should still respect it. What about Skeledirge? Now, the thing about Baxcalibur is you cannot burn it, so, you know, I can't beat Baxcalibur with my Skeledirge, actually. And actually, I don't think Skeledirge is in a great spot here, so I'm going to bring Ting-Lu just because it's a solid lead. Of course, they could bring Pokemon that are good against it, but I'm also going to bring Baxcalibur because it does seem pretty solid against their team as well. And then finally, I think it might be Fluttermane. Fluttermane's decent, although Fluttermane also struggles against a couple of their Pokemon as well, so I'm not loving it there. So we'll see how this goes. I'm a little scared. Okay, trainer card. I feel like I need to update my trainer card. I really like what I did with the Mew, but I also want like a better background that's more like, that pops more or has more color or something. They lead with their Clodsire, which if you've watched any of my other videos, you probably know that I hate Clodsire. I'm wondering if I should Terrastalize. I don't think that's a great idea this early in the game. The reason I would Terrastalize is because it's likely that they're going to go for Toxic here, and I'm Terra Poison, so I would of course be immune to that. Probably just get up Rocks because it's safe, and just see what they do. You know, I have Ruination if I need to do a little bit of damage to them. You know, get their HP a little low. Not low particularly, but at least get some damage on them. Okay, so they go for Stealth Rock of their own, which is great for them. Pretty annoying for me because, of course, I do have my Baxcalibur, as I said. I'm just going to go Ruination now. I guess I could have gone Earthquake, too. I think Clodsire's defense is not amazing, and its special defense is pretty good. Wonder if an Earthquake would knock them out. They go Yawn, though, which is also pretty annoying. I think I'm actually going to Earthquake here, although... Oh, and they also do that. That's annoying. Or they also have leftovers, I mean. I'm going to Earthquake, see what happens. There's a chance we do a lot of damage, depending on what their EVs are. And I don't want to keep switching out and having them yawn everything I go into. So we actually knock them out, which I think is fantastic. However, you know, if they go into something that can set up, then that's definitely really scary. So we'll see how this plays out here. Like, if they go into Baxcalibur, we're going to have to make a decision really quickly. They do, of course, go into Baxcalibur, meaning they're probably going to Dragon Dance. They might also go just Icicle Spear. This is a huge risk, because here's the thing. If I expect them to Dragon Dance, I can go into Fluttermane and then maybe, like, Perish Song. And that nullifies that, and I should be faster still because of the booster energy. However, if I go into a Fluttermane and they go for Icicle Spear, then I'm in kind of a lot of trouble there. If I stay in and they go for Icicle Spear, that's fine because I don't mind getting knocked out. But if I stay in and they Dragon Dance, then that's pretty bad. My brain is telling me I should switch out to Fluttermane, but I'm just gonna stay in. If they Dragon Dance, okay, cool. This is great, yeah. So I was right. My heart was right. My brain was maybe wrong, but my heart was right. Okay. So this takes out one turn of sleep. I mean, I wish they would just knock me out here, to be honest. But they don't. And they hit 4 times, which means they are not loaded dice, which means they could be Assault Vest, because that's another item that's pretty common on Baxcalibur. They do Dragon Dance now, though. Okay. If I wake up this turn, that's perfect, although I don't think that's going to happen. What's the max sleep turn? Is it 3? I'm going to take a huge risk and stay in again. They either knock me out with Icicle Spear. Okay, cool. I was going to say, or they Dragon Dance again. Ooh, I might survive. If I survive in Whirlwind, then that's just amazing. This just shows you how bulky Ting-Lu is. It's so good. I might even survive 5 hits. I forgot about my berry, if I'm being honest. Oh, never mind, okay. Lucky for them. They hit the 5, which is just perfect for them. So now I have a few options. I mean, really, my main option is I go into Fluttermane, and I know that I'll be faster because of the booster energy. The question is, do I Perish Song or what? Do I Charm? If I Perish Song, then they knock me out right away. I think I have to either Charm or Moonblast. I'm going to Charm here because if I Moonblast and they Terrastalize, that could be really bad. Charm is, you know, I'm faster than them and I'm guaranteed to get off, or I'm guaranteed to lower their attack. So I think that's kind of the way I want to start here. I'm going to Charm and then maybe Perish Song after. I don't know. If they Dragon Dance again, though, that's actually really rough. They do Terrastalize, which is kind of what I was expecting. Could be Terra, Electric, or Ground. I think those are the most common Terra types. Fire is also somewhat common. Yeah, it is Electric, kind of like mine, or just like mine. Mine is Terra Electric as well. Again, I'm pretty sure I'll be faster here. Yes, I am. And I lower their attack, so they're at -1 attack now. I hope they don't Dragon Dance. If they Dragon Dance... Okay, they Icicle Spear. That's great. So now I think I'm gonna... I think Perish Song is a little greedy. Huh. I could Moonblast just to get off a lot of damage. And then if they Dragon Dance and they knock me out the following turn, then I go into my Baxcalibur and I have to survive a hit from them. Huh. If I Perish Song, then I don't think that's great. If I Charm, I don't think that's great either. If I Charm and they Dragon Dance, Fluttermane's as good as dead anyway, so I think I'm just going to Moonblast, try to knock them out here, try to get off as much damage as possible. Obviously, it's not super effective anymore. I lower their special attack, which does not matter, and they knock me out, which is, I think that's pretty good for me here. Then I go into my own Baxcalibur. Now, the real question is, what moves do they have? We know they have Icicle Spear, we know they have Dragon Dance. I'm assuming they have Terra Blast, and so do they have Earthquake or do they have Glaive Rush? I think I'm fine just if they have Glaive Rush, then I think I want to Terrastalize here because I think it's unlikely that they're gonna go for Earthquake, right? No. If they have Earthquake, they might go for it, whether I Terrastalize or not. The question is, do they have Glaive Rush? I'm gonna Terra, and I might regret this because they're definitely faster than me. If they just go for Icicle Spear, though, we definitely live it pretty nicely because they're at -1 attack. And obviously our Earthquake should knock them out, although just about any move we go for would knock them out at this point. They do go Spear. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. And that makes me a little relieved that I did Terrastalize because Icicle Spear would have done the same damage whether I Terrastalize or not. Oh wait, maybe they are loaded dice because it hit 4 times. No, they can't be loaded dice, right? Because they hit 4 times against Ting-Lu. Yeah, I don't know. Either, I guess they got really lucky there. I might just lose here. If they have Corviknight, I guess that's kind of good for me because their Body Press won't do that much damage. I hope they have Corviknight, dude. At this point, I never thought I'd hear myself say that. I hope they have Corviknight. Okay, let's see how this plays out, though. If they have Rocky Helmet, that's also going to be annoying because I am pretty low. I'm actually not sure that this will kill them unless they're like max HP, max special defense. But even then, Corviknight's so bulky, it's possible that they survive. So we'll see how this plays out. Although at the same time, if they have Rocky Helmet, I don't think Terra Blast makes contact. Let's see. Let's see, everyone. Okay, okay. Now it depends on what they have. Oh, they have Iron Defense. Do they have Leftovers, though? If they have Leftovers, we might lose because... Oh, they don't. Okay. Alright, comes down to this. This is a really close one. Because if they survive this, they might Roost. Perfect. Wow. That was a fun one. That was a good one. I think that was a pretty good battle. It does feel like I kind of navigated that battle and made some decisions that ended up mattering and ended up helping me. So it's not like that battle felt like it really came down to luck or anything. It did feel like I was in control of what I was doing and... You know, I made the decisions there that helped me win. So that's always a good feeling, right? One way or the other, you know, obviously it's good to win, even if you sometimes hacks your opponent on accident. But obviously, it always feels better to win knowing that you kind of did what you needed to do to win.